Okay, so buckle up, folks, because this deep dive, this one's going to stay with you. We're cracking open Dark Whisper by Rufus Montgomery Jr. And let me tell you, this book, it's intense. Think Hannibal Lecter, but crank it up a notch, or 10.
It really gets under your skin. You
Yeah.
know, it's one thing to tell a story about a killer, but Montgomery, he doesn't just tell the story, he throws you right into the deep end. You're seeing everything through the protagonist's eyes.
And yeah, we'll call him the protagonist because honestly, even saying this guy's name out loud gives me the creeps. He is one messed up dude. I mean, we're talking serial killer level messed up.
And Montgomery holds nothing back. The graphic scenes, the descriptions, it's like he wants to make you squirm.
Oh, he definitely does.
Yeah.
No sugarcoating here, that's for sure. But here's the thing. It's not just about shock value.
Right.
There's a reason Montgomery goes there.
Mm-hmm.
He wants us to see the thinking, the justification.
Yeah.
It's disturbingly fascinating.
Exactly. He's dissecting the banality of evil, showing how someone can compartmentalize, justify, even find pleasure in these horrific acts.
Yeah, like that whole banality of evil thing, but like 1,000 times more terrifying.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really wild. This protagonist, he's not a one-dimensional monster. This is a guy who loves his grandmother. He paints. He enjoys beauty. It's like, what?
That right there, that's what makes Dark Whisper so gripping. This guy is a walking contradiction. Can someone be capable of such darkness and still have genuine human traits? Or is it all just an act, a mask?
Right, like is the art real expression or is it just another way to manipulate people? Because let's be real, this dude is the king of manipulation.
Rare.
Always playing a role, always one step ahead.
And he knows you're not catching on.
Yeah.
Montgomery uses this quiet part out loud thing where the protagonist drops these little hints, breadcrumbs of his true nature.
It's like he gets off on the fact that no one sees him for what he really is.
Exactly. It plays on that gap between perception and reality, and the protagonist, he exploits it brilliantly.
Which makes you wonder, how well do we really know anyone? Like, are we all just walking around blind to the darkness inside the people we meet every day? It's creepy, but also kind of genius how Montgomery does that.
Oh, absolutely. It's a theme that runs through the entire novel.
Yeah.
This idea that what we see is never the whole story.
Okay, so we've got this completely twisted character, and then there's the setting. London, not exactly known for being a walk in the park.
No, not at all. London becomes more than just a setting in Dark Whisper. It's like another character in a way. The city's darkness, its history, it all reflects the protagonist's inner world.
He even compares himself to Jack the Ripper at one point. Talk about wearing your crazy on your sleeve.
But that's the point, isn't it? He sees himself in that legacy of violence. He finds a home in the shadows of London's past. Just like London has its secrets, so does he.
And he likes it that way.
Oh, he thrives on it. And speaking of shadows, let's talk about the protagonist's relationships. He's got this, well, I guess you could call it a connection with his grandmother. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, it's almost, dare I say, heartwarming. Like, she's the one person he seems to genuinely care about. She raised him, taught him how to navigate the world, which in his case means how to function as a high-functioning psychopath.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, does she know? Does she have any clue about the darkness he carries? There's this one scene, he's watching her after a funeral, she's reapplying her makeup, and he sees this look in her eye, this recognition. It's subtle, but chilling.
Oh, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
Talk about a dysfunctional family. But it's not just the grandmother. There's Stacy, his art dealer.
Mm.
She's completely taken in by him. I mean, she's attracted to him, to his talent, but there are all these red flags.
And he knows exactly how to play her. Stacy's drawn to his charisma, but there's also this fear, this sense that she's getting in too deep.
It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck. You want to yell, run! But she's already so captivated.
And then there's Vicky. She's different. Vicky sees right through him.
Vicky's interesting. She's smart. She challenges him, calls him out on his BS. And for some reason, he's drawn to that.
Their interactions are fascinating. It's like a battle of wits, each one trying to outmaneuver the other. But with Vicky, there's a flicker of something real, something he doesn't seem to have with anyone else.
So, is he capable of genuine connection? Or is it all just a game to him?
That's the million-dollar question, and Montgomery doesn't make it easy for us. He wants us to ask ourselves, can someone like this, a monster, be capable of love?
I don't know. It's disturbing to even think about. And we can't forget, this is a guy who takes pleasure in killing. Montgomery doesn't shy away from the details. It's brutal.
And yet, there's this dark humor woven throughout the book. It's unsettling. He'll describe something horrific and then crack a joke like he's trying to break the tension.
It's like, dude, you just talked about dismembering someone and now you're making a pun about it. It's jarring.
But that's part of what makes Dark Whisper so powerful. It forces us to confront the absurdity of it all, the darkness that exists not just in the protagonist, but maybe in all of us.
You know what really gets me about this book? It's like, he's so articulate, the protagonist. I mean, he's practically poetic sometimes, but it's like poison dripping from his lips.
Oh, absolutely. He's a master of language, twisting it, using it to manipulate and deceive. You start to question your own grip on reality.
There's this one scene that's seared into my brain. He's talking to Stacy about a woman he's planning to kill,
Yeah.
and he just casually mentions how delicious she looks.
It's bone-chilling. The way he dehumanizes her, reduces her to nothing more than an object, and he says it so casually.
It's like he's testing the limits, seeing how far he can push it. And the scary thing is, he almost always gets away with it.
Because people underestimate him. They see the charm, the charisma, and they miss the danger lurking beneath the surface.
And then there's the art, another layer of messed up. He talks about his paintings coming from this place of emptiness, darkness, but they're also undeniably beautiful.
That's the question Montgomery forces us to confront. Can true art come from a place of darkness? Can we separate the art from the artist?
It's like when you find out your favorite musician or actor is a terrible person. Do you stop listening to their music? Stop watching their movies? It's this moral dilemma, and it's uncomfortable.
Exactly. Dark Whisper. It doesn't offer any easy answers. It makes you sit with those uncomfortable questions and really think about them.
So, what's the takeaway here? I gotta be honest, this book kind of messed me up a little.
It's supposed to... Dark Whisper. It's a cautionary tale. It reminds us that evil isn't always obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, wearing a charming smile.
Right. Like the person you're sitting next to on the bus could be a total psychopath, and you'd never know it.
It's a reminder to be aware, to trust your instincts, and to never underestimate the darkness that humans are capable of.
Yeah, if you're looking for a feel-good story, this ain't it. But if you want a story that will stay with you long after you finish reading it, a story that will make you question everything you thought you knew about human nature, then Dark Whisper is waiting. Just don't blame us if you have trouble sleeping with the lights off afterward.
Until next time, folks, sweet dreams.